Vijan, and I've taken the liberty of changing the title to a new endo-suture system for enhanced endograft fixation and seal. These are my relevant disclosures. As we've discussed, there are two major challenges to EVAR that we haven't seen improved in the last two decades: proximal neck dilatation and failure of aneurysm shrinkage or regression. And these are probably related, and they're certainly not seen in open surgical repair. The contributing factors, we believe, are diseased neck anatomy, the self-expanding stents with chronic outward force in the infrarenal neck, and the practice of endograft oversizing. And as we've heard, we've seen some evidence that endoanchors may have a positive impact on aneurysm sac regression. Well, the Vesteck Suture-TIght suture system has a significantly different method of fixation and seal compared to the corkscrew mechanism of action of the current endoanchors. It consists of two components: a suture delivery catheter and the nitinol sutures themselves. This catheter delivers 4 nitinol sutures, which essentially pull the endograft to the aortic wall and provide transadventitial fixation and seal. Now, the components include a biasing mesh to bias the suture delivery window against the aortic wall. The suture delivery window is seen here, and the biasing mesh can be expanded and collapsed to allow repositioning. The suture deployment component is actually in the upper or cranial aspect of the catheter and basically loaded on a sled to draw down into the window. During deployment, each suture is sequentially advanced towards the deployment window. Now, the sutures themselves are superelastic nitinol with a curved shape designed for deployment by the delivery catheter in a manner similar to surgical suturing. As you can see, it consists of 2 parallel arms connected by a bridge section, and it forms a circular shape of approximately 330 degrees. Here's just some of the suture details shown here. So as you can see in this movie, the biasing mesh is deployed, and you'll see the suture window is here, and you will then see the suture being deployed. The suture can be retracted and repositioned if we're unhappy with that particular location. So the sutures penetrate the endograft and into the layers of the aortic wall, securing the graft to the adventitia. You can see in this animal model the luminal surface of the sutures, and then you can see that transadventitial fixation in the animal model. In terms of animal model histology, you can clearly see that the sutures penetrate the adventitia. You can see that the luminal surface has some neo-intimal coverage here, but most importantly you can see that the endograft here is pulled towards the aortic wall. Now, the initial experience is 14 successful clinical cases in Europe, in North America and in Australia. This is a case I was happy to attend with Ramon Varco in Sydney, and I'm grateful for the images. Just to explain that you can see there's a marker behind the suture in the delivery sled, and the markers for the suture window are clearly shown here. When I say there are markers on the delivery sled, you can see there are actually 2 markers, and what you do is actually rotate the II so that those 2 markers are superimposed, as you can see on the left here, and then you know you're truly orthogonal to the aortic wall when you're delivering the suture. So what we'll see in these images is the marker on the suture sled is coming down towards the suture window, and as you can see here, you can see the endo suture being deployed. Here, courtesy of Shannon Thomas, again from Prince of Wales and Sydney, is a follow-up CT clearly showing the endo sutures after a recent case. So 14 successful clinical cases, no device-related adverse events, no suture fractures, embolization or graft migration. Certainly the deployment is intuitive, and the sutures can be very easily delivered at the same level in 4 quadrants in less than 10 minutes, to be honest, usually much less than this. Just some photos of the teams in the various locations. So we know that sac shrinkage is indicative of successful aneurysm treatment. This is achieved in less than 60% of the time with current EVAR, as we've heard. Improving proximal fixation and seal is likely to improve sac shrinkage and certainly reduce reintervention and perhaps all-cause mortality. Introducing the Vesteck Suture-TIght system, it has some unique features: a surgical-like suture rather than an endo-anchor, ability to easily and rapidly deliver into 4 quadrants, and it may change the EVAR paradigm. Perhaps we don't need to oversize these endografts as much as we traditionally do. The results are early but promising to date. Thanks very much.